So when you think of a protein drink, you're probably picturing something thick, right? Kind of milky. Well, what if it looked and felt more like a sparkling seltzer? That's exactly what we're unpacking today, a look at sparkling protein.
I mean, look at this thing. Right off the bat, it's giving you seltzer vibes, not protein supplement vibes. And the can itself makes some pretty big promises. So let's do this. Let's break it down, piece by piece, and see what's actually inside. Okay, so the can is screaming three things at you right away. A massive 40 grams of protein, this really curious claim of natural GLP-1 support, and of course, 0 grams of sugar. We're going to use the product's own info sheet to dig into every single one of these. All right, first things first. How in the world do you get 40 grams of protein into a drink that's totally clear and bubbly? Well, it all comes down to the kind of protein they're using. The secret sauce here, according to their document, is something called beta-lactoglobulin. You can just call it BLG. Now what is it? It's basically a super pure, high-quality slice of whey protein. They ultrafilter it with one goal in mind, to get it so squeaky clean that it's crystal clear and has virtually no taste. So why go to all that trouble for this specific whey protein? Why not just use a plant-based one? Well, the info sheet lays it out pretty clearly. If you want that sparkling, see-through vibe, you need a protein that dissolves completely, no grit, no cloudiness. And this BLG whey, it does just that. Plant proteins, on the other hand, well, the document says they just don't mix the same way and can end up being chalky. The document also gets into the nitty-gritty of this protein source. It's coming from grass-fed cows, it's filtered using just water, no harsh chemicals. It's also boosted with an amino acid called leucine, and we'll circle back to that in a sec. And get this, they say every single batch gets tested 199 times for safety.
Wow.
Okay, so that's what's in the can. But now let's talk about how it supposedly works. See, this drink claims to do more than just give you protein. It claims it can actually affect how full you feel.
Remember leucine, that amino acid I mentioned? The product sheet calls it a critical piece of the puzzle. The best way to think about it is like a light switch. Protein gives you the building blocks for muscle, sure, but leucine is what supposedly flips that switch and tells your body, okay, time to start building. All right, let's tackle that second big claim from the can. The one that probably made you go, huh, natural GLP-1 support. What on earth is GLP-1?
So, according to their document, GLP-1 is a hormone, and it's a huge player in making you feel full and satisfied. That's called satiety. The whole idea here is that by giving this hormone a little support, the drink can help you manage hunger and keep those cravings in check.
Okay, that sounds great, but talk is cheap, right? Do they actually have any proof that this works? Well, the info sheet points to a clinical study to try and do just that.
And the results they share from that study are pretty interesting. They actually tracked people's GLP-1 levels after they had a can. And look at this, the data shows a 25% jump in that hormone after just 30 minutes. But it gets better. That number shoots up to a 47% increase after 2 hours.
But it's not just about hormone levels, right? It's about how you feel. And the study tracked that too. This quote from the research summary says it all. 1 hour after drinking, all participants reported little to no desire to eat. And after 2 hours, 2/3 were still comfortably full. That's a pretty strong statement. All right, let's switch gears. We've talked about the science. Now let's get into the hard numbers. We're going to do a real quick-fire round on the nutrition facts for this drink. First up, calories. You're looking at 160 calories in one can. And that third big claim from the front of the can? The nutrition facts back it up. 0 grams of total sugar. The document says it's sweetened with things like monk fruit and Reb M instead. And now for the headliner, the big one. 40 grams of protein. 40! To give you some perspective, that's about what you'd get from a 5-ounce chicken breast, or like 6 large eggs. That is a ton of protein for just one drink. And for all of you who love to get into the details, here's the full nutrition panel, straight from their info. You can pause and take a look, but you'll see the fat, sodium, and carbs are all super low. Protein is absolutely the star of the show here. And finally, just so you have the full picture, let's talk price. The info sheet lists the member price for a 12-pack at $105. Okay, so we've got the crazy protein, the clinical data, the nutrition facts, but who is this drink actually for? The FAQ section in their document really helps clear that up. So who is this for? The document seems to be pointing to a few key groups. Adults who just want a super easy way to get more protein in, people who are focused on weight management, athletes who need help with muscle recovery, and even folks interested in healthy aging, trying to preserve that muscle mass.
They also call out a couple of important dietary things right on the label. It's certified gluten-free, and it's also designated as kosher dairy.
This table gives us a quick rundown of some other big questions from their FAQ. So, is it vegan? Nope, it's whey-based, so it's dairy. Is it for kids? Nah, it's designed for ages 16 and up. Now here's an interesting one. Even though it's from whey, it's listed with 0 grams of lactose. And what about for pregnancy? The document says yes, but, and this is important, to check with a doctor first.
So where does that leave us? You've got a drink that packs an absolutely huge 40 grams of protein, it's light and sparkling, and it comes with claims of actually curbing your cravings. It really makes you wonder, right? Could something like this completely change how we think about protein and maybe even how we think about feeling full?